G'day guys, Disney Dave coming at you once again from Down Under. Today we're doing another add-on video to my Disney Blu-ray and DVD collection. If you've seen in the past, I've covered my animated and live-action Disney titles. Today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe titles in my collection. Now this collection is a little bit of a mixed bag. Usually I either buy all the titles in Australia or I import all the titles from America or the UK. But in this case, I've got just a little bit of everything. This collection has been sort of pieced together along the way. A lot of the earlier movies I picked up in the country, but a lot of the later titles I've been importing from the US on Amazon. Now unlike some other sections of my Disney collection, I haven't picked up multiple editions of every single one of these movies. There's just so many editions of them out there, whether they be a slipped version, they be a special edition version, maybe a steelbook version. Look, there's just so many out there, I just couldn't do it. In most cases, I've only got one copy of the film, but in some cases, I might have a double up. So let's take a look at my mixed bag of a collection, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. So let's start with what is still one of the greatest movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. The one that started it all, Iron Man. Absolutely awesome movie, absolutely love this. I picked this one up in Australia, as you can see, no slipcover. This was actually before Disney had acquired Marvel Studios, so this is the old Paramount Studios release of this movie. Very lackluster inside there, as you can see, very boring. Previously to picking up the Blu-ray, I actually picked up the DVD in Australia. This is one of the very first Steelbooks, or as they were called then, steel covers or tin covers. Steelbook wasn't really a name back then because it was a steel case which then had the DVD inside it. It's not a steelbook as we know them today. But this was a exclusive to the Australian retailer Easy DVD, who are now a online only store, but before JB Hi-Fi was really big here with all their DVDs in Australia, Easy DVD was usually the place of choice for people to go and buy DVDs. Either Easy DVD or Kmart would have the biggest range of DVDs and the best specials. Pretty cool, and I think this is a really cool DVD release. Actually, it has a slipcover as well. And you come out of there and there's Tony Stark, Iron Man. This was a really, really cool DVD release. They didn't do this kind of thing a lot. Really cool. That's a really nice addition. And of course, I've kept that around in the collection because it's just a really nice piece of early DVD memorabilia. Next up, we have The Incredible Hulk. This one was a Universal release again before Disney acquired Marvel Studios. Again, a lackluster release right there. One of the lesser films of the MCU, probably my least favorite film. Some people call it an unofficial installment in the cinematic universe, but really it is official. They just certain things in it that they've tried not to acknowledge in the movies because of course Edward Norton played Bruce Banner in this version and then they replaced him with Mark Ruffalo later on. But we have seen the return of General Ross in Captain America Civil War, and supposedly Betty Ross is rumored to be appearing in the Avengers Infinity War, played by Liv Tyler again. So that'll be a really nice tie back to this movie. I really do wish they would acknowledge this more because it does have some really important story threads in it that relate to the MCU as a whole. So it's nice to see them finally referring back to it and giving it a few nods. Next up we have Iron Man 2. This one was bought in Australia as well. Again, another Paramount release, I believe. Nothing special about this. Absolutely bare bones once again. This was the very first US release of a Marvel film I picked up. Thor, the first one. This is a limited 3D edition. I actually bought this one when I was overseas, when I was in the US. My very first trip to the US. Went into a Best Buy store and I just had to buy heaps of stuff at Best Buy because I'd heard about Best Buy, I'd read about Best Buy, and I thought, I have to go into a Best Buy store and buy some stuff. So I ended up buying the Thor limited 3D edition. Another Paramount release. This was again before Disney bought out Marvel. And while I was there, I also picked up the limited 3D edition of Captain America the First Avenger. So both of these were bought in America at a Best Buy store. I have very fond memories of that. They are both Paramount releases, but they both have really nice slipcovers. Then sadly, of course, I had to come back home to Australia. And while I was in the country, I had to pick up Avengers in 3D. It actually took me a while to pick this one up. I wanted to import the American edition for one reason or another, but in the end, I didn't end up doing that. And I picked it up in the country much later. This was actually the first Disney release. This was the first movie of the MCU that Disney had some kind of creative control over. It has the Paramount logo on the spine, but the back, the layout of it has all the signs of a Disney release. So this is a Disney release, of course, the blue disc with the white writing, and of course the typical Disney 3D disc there as well. This is a Disney distributed release, but their deal when they purchased Marvel meant that Paramount could have their logo logo at the front of the movie and on all the packaging and everything. They weren't allowed to market this one as a Disney movie because Paramount obviously had the distribution rights to the movies at first before Disney bought Marvel Studios. So as a bit of a goodwill gesture, they sort of released this as a partnership. Next up, another Australian purchase, Iron Man 3D. This one also has the Paramount logo on it because initially Paramount were involved in the production stages of this. So the Paramount logo is there, but of course this is a Disney release, as you can tell by the back and by the discs. The Australian ratings logo, I think, really ruins this cover. Sadly, another Australian release of Thor: The Dark World in 3D. By this point, the Paramount Studios logo has disappeared off the packaging, and this is 100% a Disney release. I really like Thor: The Dark World. A lot of people were complaining about it, saying it wasn't a great movie, but I actually really love this. I actually liked it more than the first movie. I know that's an unpopular opinion. Likewise, I actually really love Iron Man 3 as well. A lot of people hate it. They hate what Marvel did with the Mandarin, but really, I don't care. I see these as a separate thing from the comic books, and if they want to change some of the lore, they want to change some of the characters, they want to add a few little twists and turns, I'm all up for that. And I think what they did with Iron Man 3 was absolutely awesome. I would have liked it if Jon Favreau had come back for the third movie, but as it was, I thought Shane Black was actually a reasonable director for this one. I've liked most of his other work. Coming up, one of my absolute favorites, if not my absolute favorite of the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This movie is absolutely awesome. This is the first Marvel film I actually got to see a preview screening for Disney, and oh, I just lapped it up. I loved it so much. Of course, an Australian release, no slipcover. I have contemplated picking up one of the Steelbooks from Zavvi. I have a feeling though that they might be sold out now, which is a little bit annoying. I probably should have jumped the gun a little bit earlier. Not even just one of the best Marvel movies ever made. This is one of the best superhero movies ever made, one of the best action movies ever made, one of the best spy espionage movies ever made. This is just absolutely fantastic movie, full stop. But anyway, there it is, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Absolutely love that movie. Now, from then on in, I have been importing my titles from the US, starting with Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D. Again, one of my absolute favorite movies. I've heard a lot of people who don't like Marvel, don't particularly like superhero movies, have absolutely loved this movie because it's a science fiction movie, but it's also a comedy. It's got a bit of drama, it's got romance, it's got a little bit of everything in this. This movie is one that just appeals to just about everyone. Absolutely awesome movie. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy, love it, and I love the slipcover on that too. Next up, the Avengers Age of Ultron. Absolutely love this too. Again, a lot of people had issues with this. I didn't. I actually like the cover on this. Got this really cool red Blu-ray case there. Next up, of course, Ant-Man. Oh man, I just love all of these movies. And I did say before, The Winter Soldier might be my absolute favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, but Ant-Man I think is the one that has surprised me the most. I think it's the one that surprised everyone the most, apart from maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie was so good. And yeah, look, this is probably my favorite solo outing for a superhero. And Paul Rudd is one of my absolute favorite comedic actors. And this one also has a really cool case. It's got a black case on this one here. And then of course we come to Captain America: Civil War. This is so good, so good. And this one was in a regular blue case. Civil War I actually picked up in Australia as well. I had to get the Steelbook because the Steelbook is just so cool. It's one of the best Steelbooks I have ever seen. I've done an unboxing video of this. Funnily enough, it's actually the most popular video I have uploaded, strangely enough. So if you want to check that out, check it out. But there you go, that is a really cool Steelbook. It's the rare case where I have actually gone and picked up the Steelbook of a movie that I previously owned. I do though have two other Steelbooks when it comes to the Netflix shows. I'm talking about Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I was a little bit let down with the releases that they were giving these in America and in Australia. Bare bones releases. Apparently the American set was so half-assed that even the slipcover on it was flimsy and it tore easily and crinkled easily. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to invest a little bit. I'm going to pick up some really nice editions of these, and I've picked up Daredevil and Jessica Jones in Steelbook form. Absolutely love these. These are really, really cool. And I will continue to collect the Netflix series in Steelbook form as long as they keep doing them through Zavvi. Also talking about TV, I have got the very first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This was a really great season of the show. I haven't picked up season 2 or 3 yet because they're just so insanely expensive in Australia. This is an Australian release. I got this one, it was actually on special. So I'm waiting to get a good deal on season 2 and 3 of that. Agent Carter, the first season, I picked up. I got a good deal on that through Zavvi in the UK. When I ordered it, it actually wasn't available in Australia, but you can get that in Australia now. It's only just recently been released a couple of months ago. Haven't picked up season 2 yet. Likewise, I'm waiting for that to drop down to a reasonable price as well. And that just about covers everything, but there's one more thing, which is the absolute pride and joy of my Marvel Cinematic Universe collection. It is, of course, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 1 Avengers Assemble box set. This is such a cool box set. At first, I wasn't going to get it because I had all the movies and it was insanely expensive when it was first released. But just before it went out of print, Amazon Canada actually had this massive stock clearance of it, and it came to about $100 Australian, and I thought, I am mad not to pick this one up. It's really cool. It comes in this awesome Shield briefcase set. All the discs are in there, all the movies from Phase 1, plus some special bonus features as well. I'm not going to do a full unboxing of that because it's hard to get out of the box and then back into the box, and there's so much to show off. People have done unboxing videos of these on YouTube, so go and check them out if you're interested to see what's in that. There is a Phase 2 box set as well. I haven't picked that up yet. It's so expensive. It's usually the equivalent of about $300 Australian shipped. So I haven't picked it up just yet. Recently, Amazon had a lightning deal on it, which was the lowest that's ever dropped. It came to about $116 US, but with conversion, that still came to just over $200 Australian. And I thought, I just can't justify it right now, especially after all the money I spent on Blu-rays during the Black Friday sales recently. It's an Amazon exclusive. I really hope it doesn't go out of print anytime soon. And I'm hoping that I can get it for closer to $100, $150 at some point down the line, assuming it doesn't go out of print. If I miss out on that, it doesn't really bother me too much. I would like to pick it up, but only if I can get it at a reasonable price. And with that, we come to an end of my Marvel Cinematic Universe collection. It's a very modest collection of Marvel movies. I know a lot of people have extensive Marvel Cinematic Universe collections with both box sets and all the movies in slipcovers and all the movies in steelbooks, but I just couldn't do that. I couldn't justify that. I'm happy with just 1 or maybe 2 copies of these movies, and that's that, really. But of course, I pick up the Marvel movies as they come out. Doctor Strange is about to come out on Blu-ray in a couple of months. I'll be picking that up as soon as it comes out, very first day. I will be importing the 3D version from the US. Yet to be decided whether I buy the Steelbook from Australia just yet. But when I do pick that up, or I pick both versions up or whatever, they will make it into my next update videos. So keep an eye on the channel because I'll be doing update videos for my entire collection in due course. So thanks for watching, guys. For those of you who are new to the channel, please check out my previous collection videos. And if you're feeling extra generous and want to keep an eye on this channel in the future, please, after the jump, hit subscribe. To my regular viewers, thanks as always for joining me again. And to everybody, I hope I see you again in the future. But until then, guys, take care, and I hope you have a marvelous day.